Okay, just got done explaining why quitting college made me miserable. So now I want to dive into how going back to college for the third time actually made me the happiest I've ever been. In September of 2023, I went back to college for the third time, like I just said, and I didn't know it right away, but that moment changed my life significantly, even if it's only been 6 months. I went back to college because, like I said in the previous video, not having structure and not having someone or something tell me what to do wasn't working out for me. And in February of 2023, I found the perfect study for me, or at least that's what I thought and hoped and wished for, basically. And yeah, I managed to get in, and I managed to get into this amazing dorm room, basically. It's a house where we live with 5 students, and I have my own room and bathroom, and we just share the kitchen and the living room. And the reason that I wanted to live on campus was basically threefold. One, because driving 2 hours a day, like 1 hour to school, 1 hour back, physically just isn't an option for me due to the physical problems that I have and have had. 2, because I was really craving some independence. I love my family and I loved living at home in some ways, but I also kind of have been ready to live on my own for about 1 to 2 years. And going here and having a campus next to school, which in the Netherlands you basically don't have, was the golden opportunity for me to figure out life on my own while still having some support from my parents on a distance. But yeah, finally being able to do what I want when I want, knowing that I'm responsible for cooking dinner, or if something isn't clean, then I only have myself to blame for that, as long as it's in my room and not the common room. If I laundry, that's my own problem, and just being responsible for my own actions and no one else's is quite nice, to be honest. And I still love going home to my mum and stepdad in the weekends, but I do really enjoy my time here. And I live with really nice people. I'm friends with one of my housemates, and I'm also really good friends with a girl that lives across from me who basically is here 12 hours a day. So this basically immediately ties into what I said in my previous videos that I missed during those 2 years that I did not go to school: social interactions and friends. Right now I have social interactions every day and I see my friends almost every day, and that is really contributing to my mental health and how I'm just feeling about life. And I basically rediscovered that I am really social. I had kind of convinced myself that I wasn't during those 2 years, but here I found myself again, is basically how I would want to describe it. And in addition to having a lot of social interactions which really increase my mental health, I also physically, I feel the best I've ever felt. I'm on the ground floor in this house, so I never have to walk any stairs, and that has been doing wonders for my knee pain and overall how my legs feel. And instead of 3,000 steps a day, I can now do 6,000+ steps a day. I currently have to do an internship 2 days a week at a horse riding facility, which requires you to move a lot. And I'm absolutely exhausted physically, but my body is capable of handling it. And even 6 months ago, that definitely wouldn't have been possible. So finally kind of feeling free in my own body is also doing wonders for both my physical and mental health. By the way, another reason that I moved to the campus is because you're only allowed to live here if you study here. So I knew, this time I just want to finish a study. I want to start something, finish it, and have a good time while doing it. And by moving here, and therefore knowing that if I would quit again, I would have to move, and I would definitely have to move back home because there are no affordable rental apartments or houses basically in the entirety of the Netherlands. And knowing that that would mean that I would lose this part of my independence. Not that it's like I don't want to give the impression that I'm not independent when I'm with my parents, but it's different. There you live with a family, so you're responsible for the house as a family. If someone else makes a mess, sometimes you have to clean it up, and here it's easier to just say, I didn't do it, so it's not my problem. While at home that isn't really the case, which is fine, but I am really, really enjoying just being responsible for myself. So having to move back in with my parents would be a really big blow to that feeling of independence, basically. And in addition, because I am basically obligated to be somewhat productive during the week to do my schoolwork, I have also found it much easier to start working on my side business again. It still isn't a big business, but it brings in some money, a few, like 1 to 250 euros a month, which is awesome. And I am really looking to build that out. The service that I'm now offering, by the way, is coming up with video ideas for YouTubers, because I've been obsessed with YouTube my entire life and know quite a lot about it as a platform. And due to having made some of my own videos and having been a professional video editor for about 3 years, I at least feel like I somewhat know what I'm talking about when I'm talking YouTube. So doing that as a job basically has been a really cool experience as well. And yeah, like I said in my previous video, once you're already in motion because of school, it's so much easier to just work on your side projects, and I feel like I can trust myself a lot more again. During those 2 gap years, I really felt like, at least to myself, my word wasn't really worth anything anymore. And now, when I say I'm going to do something, I am going to do it. And that has also made me feel a lot better about myself. And the negative self-talk has basically stopped because of that, which obviously is really good for your mental health as well. I can even say, by the way, that I love my current studies so much that I actually joined the PR team of my school. So now when there are like open days, I don't know how you call it in English, I'm one of the people who stands there enthusiastically and wants to convince you to actually come to the school. And the fact that I am willing to do that, even though it pays really well, that's obviously a big motivator as well. But the fact that I love my studies so much that I would even want to convince other people to do it kind of says a lot about how happy I feel here. And I just feel so lucky with my classmates. For example, I have an amazing class. And just for this school in general, up until February of last year, I didn't even know this kind of education existed here in the Netherlands. And now I'm actually studying something that will contribute to me living out my dreams. With the 2 other studies before that part is really what was missing. And if you're just studying something to study something, that isn't as motivating as studying something because this is actually what you want to do with the rest of your life. And I really hope that in this video I am able to convey the happiness and the giddiness almost I feel now, because I'm not always the best in not coming across very monotone, but I am truly loving life and loving everything about this school and education. And even the stuff that is less interesting is still so much better than the previous 2 studies that I have literally nothing to complain about. Mentally I feel amazing, physically I feel amazing. The study that I'm doing is amazing. The people that I get to interact with are amazing. And the independence that I have from living here is amazing. My room itself is amazing. Yeah, I'm just honestly really, really happy. And that's awesome. I love feeling that way. And yeah, that's basically everything that I wanted to say with this video. And I hope if there's one thing that you took away from this is that even if you feel shit for a long time, it's possible to change that. And even if, when it comes to college, you've already quit 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 times, if you truly want to go to college, then there is some sort of study out there that fits what you want. And I would really encourage you to keep looking for that. And if you don't want to go to college and have enough discipline on your own to actually work on your dreams without any external pressure, then all the good to you. And I love that for you. And I hope you are as happy doing that as I'm doing this.